Good morning and welcome to our discussion. My name is Shamimi and I will be the moderator for today's discussion. We gathered here today to discuss under the topic international trade and importation. Let me tell you about this topic. International trade means the buying and selling, importing and exporting activity of goods and services between countries. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment to thank all the participants for taking the time to join us. So I would like to remind everyone to change the mode of your gadget into silence. Please respect speakers and their opinions and be mindful of time limits, which is 3 minutes of each speaker when making comments or asking questions. Without further ado, let's begin the discussion. I would like to start by introducing the speakers and their position on the topic. On the right side, we have local representative, Mr. Faris as a buyer and Ms. Fazi as a seller. On the left side, we have Ms. Sarah, which is the Secretary of Mr. Kimberly Club, CEO of Hadis, and Ms. Shazli, Secretary of Cat Rose Enterprise, and our Minister of Economy. So let's begin our discussion. Mr. Faris, you may now start your argument.
Thank you to moderator. I feel honored to be able to be a representative on behalf of buyer in our country. So in general, I want to express my feeling that all of the people in our country about increase in the price of goods and lack of staple goods in any supermarket. This sudden increase in the price of goods causes us as buyers do not have enough money to support life. The first main reason is minimum salary. As we know, that government's worker average salary of working people in our country is 3,000 ringgit. So with a salary like that, we as a buyers cannot afford to support our life and our family, especially those in the capital city. The second one is the living expenses. The cost of living is now increasing in our country from various aspects such as house rent, car monthly, and many more. High living expenses would be a big challenge for us The cost of living is now increasing in our country from a various aspects such as house rent, car monthly, and many more. High living expenses would be a big challenge to a married people. They have to save and plan to have their children or not, because the price of children's needs is very high and expensive for this day and economy right now. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Faris, to your opinion. So, Ms. Fazi, as a seller, what's your opinion to Faris' opinions?
Assalamualaikum. I am Fazi, a seller at Sugesayung. Here, I would like to share some of the complaint and dissatisfaction of the buyer at my store. In a few years, I have been selling at my store. This is the first time that has been the unsatisfied buyer that I cannot control. Let me tell you, there's one day I was surrounded by the buyers at my stall. They complained that the price placed on the item is very high and their salary are not enough to buy their other necessary. So I really want to help them, but I have no right to do anything and just to listen about their complaint. As I remember last time this happened was over 10 years ago in 2008. What happened at that time was the high price of the rice. At that time, even Philippines hit by a serious rice supply crisis when the supply of rice declined, so that the price of the rice increased by 60% at that time. This is what my father have been through. So I don't want this happen to me. So therefore I am here to defend the right of my customer. So I would like to request that the minister to think and possibly negotiate with the other, so that they can change the price of the goods, so every group of people can buy their necessary. So that's all. Thank you.
Mr. Faris, you seem to be sad, so do you have something to say?
Actually, moderator, I have something to say in this conference, especially to our minister and our consumer right here. I experienced this as a father and as a head of my family, that I have 4 sons that need to that need to support them in their life, but they are still in their middle school and kindergarten. So the cost of the children is really high right now, that they need to pay their I need to pay their school fee and also their pocket money for their daily life. For me, it doesn't make sense. The price of the diapers is really high right now to buy, and we know that the kids really use a lot of diapers since they have to pee and everything else. So for me, it's really struggle to find money that my wife work as a housewife and I'm alone in finding money.
Thank you, Mr. Faris, for voicing out your such a great story. So we must hear from Ms. Sarah, the Secretary of Kimberly Club, CEO of Haggis. Do you have your feelings about Mr. Faris' story?
I'm truly sorry for Mr. Faris' situation. I do understand his feeling because professionally I'm the secretary of a huge brand, but at home I'm a single mother of 2 kids. I know the feelings of having to grow your child. So I heard heartbreaking complaints such as what Mr. Faris did, and I do feel sad because of that. It's very hard to find suitable brand for baby, for kids. So when my brand is insufficient, they have to find new brand, which is very, very difficult. So yeah, it's hard to read all the complaints. We understand the urge of citizens in demanding more supply of our brand, but when pandemic hit, we cannot control people from panic buying as a stop for the lockdown is announced. So even in my country, you can name every store. We have Walmart, we have Target. The diaper section are emptied super quickly once the announcement of lockdown is made. And we have a fixed amount of supply for your country's import. As you know, the export and import in Malaysia and United States has such restriction in which we call as tariff and quota. In this case, we call this as quotas. So what is quotas, Mr. Faris? Quota is a legal limit on amount of a good may be allowed. So if the amount is finished, we cannot supply urgently and immediately. Significantly, if there is only a few places left that sell my product, the seller will increase the price because my product is considered as limited. For that matter, I am not at fault for the high price, and it is your governance responsibilities to take action against the high price. But I do hope the best for you, Mr. Faris.
Thank you for a great explanation from your point of view as a secretary from international company. So let's hear from Ms. Shazlin as a local company. What's your opinion about your company which provided wheat flour to our country?
So here, I want to explain to seller and citizen why the price of wheat flour increased. I, as a representative from our country, will give an answer for the question in your mind. During pandemic COVID-19, the price of wheat flour increased from 2.50 ringgit to 3.10 ringgit in the market. I understand many people are affected in this situation because such as a baker, because wheat flour is a main product to make their product. Even though the price increased, but we don't have to worry because the supply of wheat flour will not be affected. Even though India has taken action to restrict the export of wheat flour for our country following the heat wave, our country still depend on 80% on Australia and United States. Even though we depend on Australia and United States, but they still have a limit to supply their product to us. As we know, during pandemic, the agriculture sector cannot be carried out well. So the manufacturing sector is also affected. The lack of workers has also caused the product to be unable to be produced in large quantities. The price of wheat flour has also increased due to the increased cost of transportation due to the high price of petrol oil. So I think I enough to explain why our product high and we cannot supply in low price to seller. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shazlin, for your opinion. Mr. Adam, I'm sorry for not mentioning your name earlier. As a minister of our country, you have heard all the problems, so what's your opinions?
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. As Minister of Economy for this country, I am fully aware of the appeal and the complaint from other parties. I know that we import wheat flour and diapers from the US. The problem is the quantity of supply is not enough for our country usage. This is because US reserves set of amount of their diapers to export due to after effect of the pandemic of COVID-19 that happened like 2-3 years ago. Most of the people there set trend of panic buying at their local market or local store. This make the number supply of diapers are low in their market for the export to other countries. For now, I have come up with some solution that people can use and opt for other local diaper products. Instead of using Huggies, which is used by a majority of our people based on the stats I received here, we also have other diaper products, our local diaper products. We have Anakku, we have Manjaku, and also from other country like Japan, which has Mami Poco and Muni. Another solution that I can think of is to use reusable cloth diapers. The material of the diaper can hold up to 20 times of usage before need to change to the new ones. True, it has more work than the normal disposable diapers, but it is a really great way to save your money. Based on this conference, I can conclude that we can change other countries' problem. We have no power to do so. So we have to adopt and make use of our internal resource of product to our consume. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Adam. That's conclude our discussion. Thank you for all participants for presenting your arguments today. It has been a thought-provoking and engaging session. Your insight and presentation have helped us to shed light on the topic and have provided us a better understanding of the issue. So, thank you everyone for joining us today.